I have been encouraged by my friends to play through the Baldur's Gate games, and I decided that if I tried to consume these large games before I began to produce content on them, it would take far too long in my opinion. So what better way to cover these classic games than with a video journal that takes us along the way? So I'm starting off with my musings on the first 3.5 hours of gameplay. Now the game starts off with this little mini game here where I think the point is to roll the dice over and over and over and over and over until you overshoot a really high number you're looking for and then spend another 75 minutes trying to get to that number or higher again. Yes, I just rolled past that 90, and yes, I did spend a hell of a long time getting that 90 again. I love how I just paused in kind of disbelief and waited before I started rolling again because I couldn't believe what I just did. So I was then whisked away to the tutorial where I learned all kinds of new skills and then was challenged to a small test where I needed to find a key in a barrel to open a locked door that apparently my useless thief was unable to pick the lock of. Now on to the main story. And straight from the table of your local D&D game, I soon find out that myself, a regular, uninteresting 20-year-old orphaned man, is told by the man who has raised me that we must purchase what we need and leave town immediately. Of course, I'm stubborn and demand to do my chores before we leave, and not one, but 2 hired assassins try to murder me along the way. So Pops and I decide to head out on our way, and wouldn't you know, as soon as we walk out the door, we're almost immediately ambushed, and he sacrifices himself for me to get out of there. And what's the first thing that we do after? We go right back to his corpse and loot everything. Of course, me and my thief friend who I just happened to meet outside. Now, Pops had told me to meet up with a couple of his friends at this inn if anything went sideways. So I head up to this inn. I pick up a couple of weird party members on the way. But soon I do get to the inn and meet my father's friends and join forces. And we're going to head south and start to see what is happening here and how this adventure is going to unfold. So that was it. That was the first 3.5 hours of gameplay summed up in a few minutes. So stay tuned for the next part in my Baldur's Gate journal.